It brings back a lot of memories, you know. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like an eerie feeling because we wrote it out in this place and it stood Hurricane Carla. So Hurricane Carla, Hurricane Alicia, and all the other hurricanes after that. And then the last one we had, of course, was Ike, Hurricane Ike. This place has a lot of history, you know, lots of history. She's still standing. He didn't really damage except pretty much the inside of it.
Galveston, it is wonderful. It's crazy at times, but it's just wonderful. I love being around Galveston. I love Galvestonians.
Galveston is an island off the coast of Texas. You know, we're set aside from the rest of the world. But we're beautiful, you know, I mean, sunshine, you know, palm trees, bikinis, you know, I mean, what could be better than living on an island?
Ike is going to again be about 400 miles off the coast of Galveston right now. Some pretty impressive rain bands already moving inland at Louisiana and Mississippi today. His forecast track still moving him towards Houston and Galveston by Saturday morning. These are the current stats. Near 100 miles per hour sustained wind with gusts over 120.
You know, I haven't seen a lot of debris recently, but it was a couple of hours ago that this is starting to be taken very, very seriously. We've definitely got hurricane winds here in the Houston, Texas area, and certainly what it's going to do is going to knock out power. It's potentially going to knock out power to millions of people. So CenterPoint and Entergy, they are going to have a heck of a job on their hands here.
Anywhere you are, even in here in this concrete building, stuff like this coming in can do some damage.
So many people stuck around. They wanted to see the surf come in. They wanted to see what Ike was going to give them. Well, I hope a lot of those folks are long gone, but we know that's not the case because at least a couple of thousand people have decided to stick it out.
During Ike, I called my neighbor that lives behind me because he had said he wasn't going anywhere. So I called Lionel and I said, well, Lionel, look out your back door, man. Tell me what's going on. He said, man, it's water everywhere. So he went to his back door and he looked out. He said, the hood of your truck is underwater. I said, what? So I knew it was bad.
The winds and the rain picked up at around 7:30. So when the window broke and the door flew open, all the wind just went straight through the house. And so we jumped up, we were afraid, so we jumped up and we went inside. The house started shaking then. I didn't notice the house shaking until the second half of the storm, which was really bad. And I sat on the side of the bed and I was like, just like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? How long is this gonna last?
So the National Guard set up where they were distributing water and ice to individuals.
Thousands of people. Kids crying, people without shoes, people in night clothes, people was distraught. And I told my boyfriend, my partner, I said, no, I can't do it. What they were doing, they were evacuating buses load. There are people that were there 2 days before they were even evacuated because it was so many people.
And I was in this line like everybody else, and the lady in front of me was the lady that I had gone to her house probably 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And we were talking and she turned around and she said, Leon, I never thought I'd be in a line like this. And she just broke down and started crying.
Right after the hurricane, everybody came together, all races, creed, backgrounds came together, you know. People with money, people without money. They bonded and they were asking, do you need help? Do you need somewhere to stay? And
it changed my perspective of the community in general. For the first time in my life, I saw the community come together as a whole to support one another, to just lift each other up. Everything that I had, it was gone. It was gone. All the toys that I had, the blanket that my great-grandmother made me, the pictures, the videos.
People that you may see in the grocery store that you've never spoken to, you spoke to them during that time, or they helped you during that time?
Everybody lost a lot, and everybody was in the same boat because it didn't make any difference how much money you had. You couldn't buy groceries, you couldn't buy gas, you couldn't flush your toilet. So we all were even on this island. But as things begin to change to bring you back to a whole, we didn't move. Poor people normally get the brunt of whatever's going on.
IKE impacted Galveston in a lot of ways. As far as population-wise, a lot of people left, and a lot of people don't want to come back. A lot of people left, and they can't come back.
The main industry here in Galveston is tourism. Just nothing but activities to have people who live inland to come and enjoy.
It's a tourist town. They don't want the tourists to come in here, seeing the eyesore, you know, the low-income people. I was 6 years old growing up here. I was 6 years old, and I don't consider myself a character. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I go to work every day, and it was the good outweighed the bad here. But as time went on, and the drugs and the violence and stuff start to, you know, arise, that's when they was like, oh, you know, they didn't want them here.
It was rough. After IKE, all of public housing was torn down. There are still African Americans who haven't had their homes repaired.
There's nothing here now. It's quiet. I think deep down inside, I think they're deterring people from returning. I honestly do. It's totally different. And that's why I say I think I kept those out who didn't want these places here.